Well, first of all, I think he went down to the jetty because they were about to demolish it as the war started, and they thought they were going to be invaded, and he went down and said, "No, stop that." Yes, it's a very typical photograph of him because he liked to wear his old suits or his old Macintosh. I think it was a place where he could relax. That was what he really liked about Abu Dhabi, I think. He used to take me for a walk on Sunday, and there were no trains on Sunday, so you could walk all the way down the village and onto the Roman road, as it was called, and then it ended up on the railway line. And when we got to a place where it said whistle, because there was a level crossing, he used to say to me, "Can you whistle?" And I used to say, "No, I can't." "Oh, well," he said, "we'd better go back now." He was a very kind and gentle person, I think, really. And I think he was devoted to my mother, and they got on very well. He used to tease her when she made a cake without any flour in it. She was really a very brave woman. I mean, I can't get over the fact that she brought her children back to her parents in Wales and then went back again to Australia without knowing whether Robert was alive or dead. And I think all of them had TB, and that's why they went there, to go to a hot climate, because there was no cure. And definitely the descriptions of Robert hemorrhaging is really frightening, and that is how he died.
This letter was written by Mary Atkin to her sons in Pantlido in 1872. My darling Dick and Walter, Grandma will tell you how dear Papa has been very ill. He was so weak that he couldn't walk about or fish and had to sit in a chair all day and cough and be in pain. So God took him away to heaven because he was fond of him, and now he's quite happy and isn't ill anymore. Only we shan't see him again until we die, and then if we are very good, God will take us too. Papa sent his love to you both and to baby, and a kiss, and he said he hoped you would all be very fond of each other and to be obedient to Grandpapa and Grandmama and always speak the truth. I'm coming back to you very soon, and I want to see my little boys very much. I'm so glad to hear that you are well and good. Everyone was so fond of Papa because he was kind to everyone, and they will be fond of you too. Perhaps someday, when you are big men, we will come out to Brisbane, and you shall finish the work that Papa only had time to begin. Kiss baby for me, and believe me, my darlings, ever your affectionate mother.
We left London, I presume, with bundles of luggage for 4 children under the age of 6 and all the grown-ups. And not my father. My father had already left for wherever. And we arrived at Abu Dhabi and were taken. It's a short walk to Crikey-Don from the station, so I imagine we walked. And I remember the clothes I was wearing, which was a dark blue woolen coat, tweed, with leggings, of course, and arriving at the front door, it seemed to be, like all children think, it seemed to be enormous, but of course it wasn't in. And I don't remember why we were given allocated which rooms, but I had a small bedroom over the porch, which I quite liked. And the house was divided, really, for the sake of the adults, by 2 staircases, the back stairs for the servants and children, and the front stairs, obviously, for the adults. And the green baize door, which was to keep the kitchen and the staff away from the front of the house, which was for drawing room studies. The drawing room actually was on the first floor, which was quite unusual. So downstairs was my grandfather's study in the front, and then next to it was the dining room, and then the kitchen places. This is a picture of, I think, possibly taken in 39 or even 38, which is me and my two sisters and Betty's dog, Duich. Duich is a Scottish dog. And that's my sister Elizabeth, my sister Mary and me. And we were dressed for obviously a fancy dress fete as the three little pigs and the big bad wolf. He's a nice dog. Living in Craigiedon, we had no particular education to start with, and to amuse us, or not to amuse us, to, I suppose, to instruct us, we used to put on plays, and this would be the result of my mother's acting abilities or career or whatever. And one of the ones that sticks very firmly in my mind was our acting of Alice in Wonderland. And I don't know if it was a family trait, but we all knew Alice in Wonderland back to front. We knew the words, we knew the songs, the rhymes, etc. And we wore dressing up clothes, which were all old clothes that were lying around, and it was good. I don't remember an audience. I dare say my grandfather would have been forced to watch. In Craigiedon, if he was down there, he had a study which was strictly for him. Just in, you went through the front door and immediately on your left was the door to his study, and it was a big room overlooking the front garden. And it was lined with books. It had well upholstered, I suppose, brown leather chairs and sofas, and a big desk. And he would receive people who wanted his advice. Locals would come to see him to ask various, I mean, I'm not sure how legal the advice, but they were certainly thought that he was a fount of wisdom in dealing with their affairs. And he would be he was actually a magistrate at one point before he went to the bar, and he was very concerned with helping people, because and this was something that was instilled in us: the law is for everyone. We were taken to the funeral in the church down the main village street, which overlooks the sea and the promenade, and every single window had its blinds pulled down, because it was I don't know if it was just Welsh or everybody did it in those days, but it was a mark of respect. And Lord Atkin, I think it was his, not his morality so much as his, I can't think of the right word, rigorousness. We certainly appreciated who he was and what he did, and will stand up for freedom in every way. And that's his influence, but it's an influence not on just his grandchildren, but on a whole lot more people, I hope.